All right, so today we're going to help you prep for a speech and language therapist interview.
Using RoleCatcher's guides.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to be looking at common interview questions, some tips on how to really make your answers stand out and shine.
And even some potential follow-up questions they might throw your way.
Yeah, that's right. So they're gonna really try and dig deep into those answers, and we're gonna be prepared for that.
Yeah, and what's really cool is that RoleCatcher's resources go way beyond just like generic interview advice.
Yeah.
They've analyzed thousands of actual like real-life interview scenarios to understand what interviewers are really looking for in this specific field.
That's incredible.
It is.
And I think a lot of times people think that they can just kind of go into an interview with some kind of generic answers, and it's not the case.
No, you really have to tailor it
You have to tailor it.
to the specific job and to what they're looking for.
Absolutely.
And RoleCatcher can help you do that.
Yeah, that's right. And they have this massive database of over 120,000 interview questions.
Yes.
Talk about being prepared for anything.
That's a lot of questions.
That's a lot of questions.
But it just shows how comprehensive their resuresources are
Absolutely.
and how seriously they take interview prep.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of times people underestimate the power of preparation,
Right.
And so if you're going into an interview and you really feel like you have, the answers to these questions and you're confident,
We can irradiate that
you're
confidence.
going to radiate that confidence, and that's what's going to come through to the interviewer. Yeah.
Exactly. They're going to see that you're serious about this role.
Yeah, and that you're passionate about it too.
Right.
So before we jump into that question frenzy, though,
Yes.
let's take a quick step back and just paint a picture of what this career is all about.
Yeah, because it's important to have a solid grasp of the profession.
Yeah.
And not just for your own understanding, but also to really showcase your passion during the interview.
I think that's so important.
You have to really believe in what you're doing.
Yeah.
And be able to articulate that
Absolutely.
to the interviewer.
Yeah, and RoleCatcher's Career Guide does a fantastic job of highlighting this.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's not just about correcting speech impediments.
No, wait, it's much broader than that.
It's about empowering individuals to communicate effectively.
Exactly.
And that can take so many forms.
It can.
So tell me about that. Like, what are some of the things that a speech and language therapist might do?
Well, think about it. You could be working with children who are just learning to speak.
Oh, wow.
Adults recovering from brain injuries, or even singers who want to improve their vocal technique.
Really?
Yeah.
So there's a huge range
It's a huge range.
of people that you could be working with.
Of people, ages, backgrounds. It's incredibly diverse.
Oh, wow.
Which is one of the things that makes it so interesting.
Yeah, and I think that's what's so cool about this career, too, is that it's not just like a one-size-fits-all, You get to really work with the variety of people and
Your approach.
tailor your approach.
With
Exactly.
each individual?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it sounds like a really rewarding career.
Oh, it is incredibly rewarding.
Yeah.
And RoleCatcher's Guide actually emphasizes that
Oh, really?
the high job satisfaction and the ability to make a real difference in people's lives.
That's amazing.
And I think that's something you should definitely try to weave into your answers.
Yeah,
That genuine passion that you have for helping people communicate.
absolutely. Because I think that's something that an interviewer is going to be looking for is, are you really passionate about this?
Yeah.
Are you just kind of, looking for a job, or are you really looking to make a difference?
Exactly.
And if you can convey that passion,
Yeah,
that's going to go a long way.
it really will.
So how about we dive into some of those common interview questions now?
Let's do it.
Okay.
I'm ready.
All right. So imagine you're sitting from the interviewer. They're giving you the once-over
Uh-huh.
and they ask you this question. Can you describe your experience working with children with communication disorders?
Okay, so this one might seem pretty straightforward, but there's actually a bit of a hidden layer here. The interviewer isn't just looking for a list of disorders that you've encountered,
Right.
They're really looking for evidence of your skills in action.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you show that?
Well, RoleCatcher's interview guide really nails it on the head.
Okay.
They point out that interviewers are craving those specific examples.
Okay. Specific example.
Yeah, so think about a time you helped a child overcome a specific challenge.
Okay.
Maybe it was a lisp or a stutter or difficulty understanding social cues.
Got it.
And then describe the situation, the strategies that you used, and the positive outcome.
Okay. So you're really kind of painting a picture for them.
Exactly. You're showing them rather than just telling them what
No.
you can do.
I like that.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's something that's really important for any interview question. is to make sure that you're giving those specific examples.
Yes, always be as specific as possible.
It just makes it more real.
And it makes it more memorable.
Yeah, absolutely.
For the interviewer.
And I think that, it's easy to kind of fall into that trap of just giving a general answer.
Yeah.
But if you can really give those specific examples, it's gonna stick with them more.
It's going to make you stand out from
Right.
all the other candidates who are giving those generic responses.
Now, let's say the interviewer really likes that example that you gave them and they want to dig a little deeper.
Okay, I like where this is going.
So they follow up with this question. What was the most challenging aspect of working with that particular child, and how did you overcome it?
Okay, so they're really digging for problem-solving skills here.
Okay.
They want to see how you handle those tough situations
Yeah.
that inevitably arise when you're working with children with diverse needs.
I think that's a really good point because, you're not always going to have
Easy case.
easy cases. Yeah, that's right. And so being able to show that you can handle those challenges, I think, is really important.
It shows resilience.
Yeah,
It shows adaptability.
absolutely.
And it shows that you're committed to finding solutions for your clients.
Yeah, and I think that it also shows that you're not afraid of a challenge.
Right.
Like you're willing to take on those tough cases and really work with those kids who need it the most.
And learn from those experiences.
Exactly.
Because every challenge is an opportunity for growth.
Absolutely. And so,
Yeah.
don't be afraid to share those challenges with the interviewer
Yeah, don't shy away from them.
because it's going to show them that you're the real deal.
Yeah. And what's important is to focus on how you overcame those challenges.
Exactly.
What strategies did you use?
Right.
What did you learn? And how did you grow as a therapist as a result?
And I think that's a great way to kind of spin it,
Yeah.
you
Turn it into a positive.
turn it into a positive.
Yeah.
Because you're showing them that you're not afraid to make mistakes,
Right.
but that you're always learning from them.
And you're always striving to improve.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're back.
And ready for more questions?
Yes, bring them on.
All right. So we've talked about working with kids,
Mm-hmm.
and how to showcase your experience there.
Mhm.
But let's say the interviewer wants to know more about your experience working with adults.
Okay, yeah, that's a big part of speech and language therapy as well.
It is.
Working with adults who have maybe experienced strokes or traumatic brain injuries or other neurological conditions.
Right. And so the question might be something like,
Okay.
can you describe your experience working with adults with acquired communication disorders?
All right, so this is a crucial one.
Yeah.
Especially if the job involves working with adults who have those conditions we just talked about.
Right.
The interviewer wants to know that you can handle the complexities of these cases.
So what kind of things should you focus on in your answer?
Well, RoleCatcher's guide really emphasizes showcasing specific cases and strategies.
Okay.
It's about painting a vivid picture of your experience and expertise.
Got it. So not just saying like, oh, yeah, I've worked with adults with aphasia.
Right, you have to go deeper than that.
Okay.
Give them a real example.
Okay.
Think about a time you helped an adult regain their speech after a stroke or supported someone with aphasia to communicate more effectively.
Okay.
Describe the challenges, the interventions you used, and the progress the client made.
So really kind of walk them through that journey
That's
of that particular client.
Yeah, and don't forget the emotional aspect.
Oh, right, because it's not just about the technical side of therapy.
No, it's about understanding the whole person.
Right.
And the emotional and social adjustments they're going through.
Yeah, that's so important. And I bet the interviewer might even ask about that specifically. Like, how do you address the emotional and psychological impact of communication disorders on your adult clients?
That's a great follow-up question.
It is, and it's a chance for you to really show your empathy and your understanding.
Right. It's about seeing the person behind the diagnosis,
Exactly, and showing that you're not just focused on the mechanics of speech.
but on their overall well-being.
Exactly. So make sure you're prepared to talk about that aspect as well.
Yeah, because it's a big part of what we do.
Okay, so moving on.
All right.
Let's talk about a question that comes up in a lot of different fields,
Okay.
but it's especially relevant for speech and language therapists.
Uh-huh.
And that is, how do you stay current with the latest research and trends in the field?
Ooh, that's a good one.
It is, and it's a chance for you to show that you're a lifelong learner.
Right. Someone who's passionate about expanding their knowledge and refining their skills.
Exactly, because this field is constantly evolving.
It is. There are always new discoveries, new techniques.
New technology.
So you have to be able to adapt and keep learning.
Absolutely, and I think the interviewer wants to see that you're not just keeping up,
Yeah.
but that you're actually staying ahead of the curve.
That's what's going to impress them.
That's what's going to make you stand out.
So how do you do that? How do you make your answer really shine?
Well, I think specificity is key.
Okay.
Don't just say you read journals.
Right.
Name drop specific journals you subscribe to,
Okay.
like the Journal of Speech Language and Hearing Research, or the American Journal of Speech Language Pathology.
Just examples.
Mention conferences you've recently attended or online communities where you engage with other professionals.
It's about showing them that you're part of the conversation.
Exactly. You're plugged in.
You're actively seeking out new information.
You're not just sitting in your office,
Yeah.
doing the same thing every day.
No, you're engaged.
You're growing.
You're evolving.
And I think that that's what's going to make you a really valuable asset to any team.
Absolutely. And here's where RoleCatcher's AI can really give you an edge.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Well, let's say the job description mentions a specific area of research,
Okay.
like fluency disorders or the use of technology in therapy.
Got it.
The AI can actually pick up on that and suggest incorporating those keywords into your answer.
Whoa. So it's like having a personalized cheat sheet?
Exactly. It tailors your response to what the employer is looking for.
That's incredible.
It's pretty amazing.
So you're not just giving a generic answer.
No, you're giving a targeted answer.
That's really going to resonate with them.
And increase your chances of getting the job.
I love it. Okay. So let's say you've nailed that question.
Uh-huh.
You've shown them that you're a lifelong learner.
Yep.
But then the interviewer throws a curveball.
Ooh, I love curveball.
Me too. They keep things interesting.
All right, what is it?
They ask, tell me about a recent research study that you found particularly interesting and how it might influence your practice.
Oh, okay, so they're really testing your knowledge here.
They are.
And they want to see that you're not just reading research passively, but that you're actually thinking critically about it.
And applying it to your work.
Exactly.
So how do you choose a study to talk about?
Well, I think it's important to choose something that genuinely sparked your curiosity.
Okay.
Maybe challenged your assumptions or introduced a new perspective.
Got it.
And then you want to explain what intrigued you about it and how it might shape your approach to assessment or treatment.
So you're not just summarizing the study
No, you're connecting it to your work.
and showing that you're thinking about the implications
Right.
and how it might actually change what you do in the therapy room.
Exactly.
I love that. And I think that's what's going to really impress the interviewer.
It shows that you're not just a book learner,
Right.
but that you're a thinker
An innovator.
and that you're always looking for ways to improve your practice.
All right. So we've talked about staying up to date.
Yes.
We've talked about showing your passion for learning.
Uh-huh.
But now let's talk about something that's incredibly important in this field. And that is cultural sensitivity.
Yes, that's crucial.
It is because speech and language therapists often work with clients from diverse backgrounds.
Right. Different cultures, different languages, different life experiences.
And so it's essential to be able to adapt your approach and connect with individuals from all walks of life.
Absolutely. You have to be culturally competent.
Exactly. And I bet the interviewer is going to want to know about your experience in this area.
Oh, yeah. They're definitely going to ask something like,
Okay.
can you describe your experience working with culturally and linguistically diverse clients?
All right. So how do you make your answer stand out for this one?
Well, again, specific examples are your best friend.
Okay.
Have you ever worked with a client who spoke a different language?
Right.
Or a client whose cultural background influenced their communication style or their perspectives on therapy?
Those are great examples.
And RoleCatcher stresses the importance of highlighting the strategies you've used to ensure effective communication and understanding.
Like what kind of strat?
Well, things like working with interpreters
Mhm.
or consulting with cultural experts.
Got it. So showing that you're willing to go the extra mile.
Exactly. And that you're not just assuming that your approach will work for everyone.
Right. Because everyone's different.
Everyone is unique, and you have to respect that.
And I think sharing a brief anecdote that illustrates your cultural sensitivity can really make your answer memorable.
Yeah, a little story can go a long way.
It can.
It makes it more personal,
More real.
and it helps the interviewer connect with you.
Okay, so you've shared your experience working with diverse clients,
Mm-hmm.
but then the interviewer follows up with this question.
Okay.
How do you ensure that your assessments are culturally sensitive and appropriate for clients from diverse backgrounds?
Okay, so this is about demonstrating a deep understanding of potential biases.
Oh, right. Because standardized assessments aren't always perfect.
No, they're not, and they can sometimes disadvantage certain groups.
So you have to be aware of that.
And proactive in mitigating those biases.
So what kind of things can you do?
Well, you might consult with experts.
Right.
adapt materials,
Uh-huh.
or utilize alternative assessment methods.
So it's about showing that you're committed to providing equitable and culturally responsive care.
Exactly.
I love that. Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit
Okay.
and talk about flexibility in treatment planning.
All right, because no two clients are the same.
Exactly. And so you have to be able to adapt your approach to meet their individual needs.
Absolutely.
So picture this, the interviewer says,
Okay.
can you describe a time when you had to adapt your treatment plan to meet the unique needs of a client?
Okay, so this is a classic tell me about a time question.
It is, and RoleCatcher offers a great framework for tackling these.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they recommend choosing a specific situation where you faced a challenge, outlining the steps you took to address it, and highlighting the positive outcome.
So it's like telling a mini success story.
Exactly. But with a focus on your ability to adapt and problem solve.
Okay, I like it.
And remember, it's okay to talk about a time when things didn't go perfectly.
Oh, yeah. We all make mistakes.
We do. What matters is that you learned from the experience and modified your approach.
It shows humility,
And a growth mindset.
which are valuable qualities in any profession.
And I bet the interviewer might even follow up with,
Okay.
looking back, is there anything you would have done differently in that situation?
Oh, that's a good one.
It is, because they're looking for self-awareness
Right.
and a willingness to learn from your
Or
mistakes.
to grow.
Exactly. Nobody's perfect.
No.
But showing that you reflect on your experiences and strive for continuous improvement speaks volumes.
Absolutely. It shows that you're committed to being the best therapist you can be.
All right, 2 more questions before we shift gears and explore some career insights.
Okay, bring them on.
Okay, so let's talk about the importance of collaboration.
All right, because speech and language therapists are often part of a larger team.
Exactly, working together to provide holistic care for their clients.
Right, collaborating with doctors, occupational therapists, other professionals.
And so be ready for a question like this.
Okay.
How do you collaborate with other healthcare professionals, such as doctors and occupational therapists, to provide holistic care for your clients?
So this question is all about showcasing your teamwork and communication skills.
Exactly, because you're not working in isolation,
No, you're part of a team
and so you need to be able to communicate effectively.
and work together towards a common goal.
So think about specific ways you've collaborated with other professionals in the past,
Okay.
attending team meetings, sharing progress, reports, co-treating clients, or advocating for your clients' needs within the team.
All great examples.
It's about showing that you understand the value of a multidisciplinary approach
Right.
and that you can effectively communicate and work as part of a team.
And RoleCatcher has a great tip here.
Oh, what's that?
They suggest emphasizing your commitment to providing coordinated and comprehensive care for your clients.
I like that.
It shows that you're thinking about the big picture
Right.
and that you're dedicated to working collaboratively to achieve the best possible outcomes.
And I bet the interviewer might follow up with,
Okay.
describe a situation where you had to advocate for your client's needs within a multidisciplinary team.
Oh, that's a good one.
It is,
Mhm.
because it's a chance to showcase your advocacy skills
Right.
and your commitment to putting your client's needs first.
Absolutely.
So maybe you had to speak up for a client who wasn't receiving appropriate services
Okay.
or advocate for a change in the treatment plan.
It's about demonstrating that you're not afraid to voice your professional opinion
Right.
and champion your client's well-being.
Even in challenging situations.
Exactly.
I love that. Okay, last question before we move on.
Right?
Let's talk dysphagia.
Dysphagia. Okay.
So for those who aren't familiar with that term,
Right.
it's basically difficulty swallowing.
Yeah, it's a common area of focus for speech and language therapists.
Absolutely. And I guarantee you the interviewer is going to ask about it.
Oh, for sure?
So be prepared for a question like this.
Okay.
Can you describe your experience working with clients who have dysphagia?
Okay, so it's all about drawing on those specific examples to showcase your expertise.
So think about the different types of dysphagia you've encountered,
Okay.
the assessment and treatment strategies you've used,
Huh?
and any notable outcomes you've achieved.
You're right.
Maybe you helped a client transition from a modified diet back to regular foods.
Yeah.
Or you implemented swallowing exercises that improved their swallowing safety and efficiency.
Those are great examples.
And RoleCatcher reminds us to mention specific techniques we've used,
Oh, okay, like what?
like diet modifications, swallowing maneuvers, or neuromuscular electrical stimulation.
Okay, so really getting into the nitty-gritty
Yeah, showing that you know your stuff.
and that you have hands-on experience.
Exactly. But be ready for a potential curveball.
Oh, I love curveballs.
Me too. They keep us on our toes.
All right, what is it?
The interviewer might ask,
Okay.
what are some of the latest advancements in the treatment of dysphagia?
Oh, wow. So they're really testing your knowledge here.
They are. They want to see that you're staying up to date on the research
Right.
and that you're aware of the emerging trends in the field.
So this is where those journals and conferences really come in handy.
They do, because you need to be able to talk about,
Yeah.
a new assessment tool,
Okay.
a novel treatment approach,
Uh-huh.
or a recent research finding that's changing the way we think about dysphagia management.
So it's about showing that you're not just comfortable with the status quo,
Right.
but that you're actively seeking out new knowledge.
And advancements.
Exactly.
That's what's going to impress them,
It shows a commitment to lifelong learning.
which is essential in any healthcare profession.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground with these interview questions.
We have.
Yeah, I'm exhausted.
Me too. But hopefully you're feeling a lot more confident about that upcoming interview.
I hope so.
But before we wrap things up, I want to spend a few minutes exploring some of the valuable career insights that RoleCatcher's career guide provides.
Sounds good.
Because it's one thing to ace the interview,
Uh-huh.
but it's equally important to make sure that this career is the right fit for you.
In the long run.
Exactly. And the guide doesn't sugarcoat things.
Oh, good.
It lays out some of the pros and cons of being a speech and language therapist.
Which is super valuable.
It is, because you need to go into it with open eyes.
Absolutely. You need to know what you're getting yourself into.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's not all sunshine and rainbows, right?
No.
The guide acknowledges that it can be emotionally demanding at times.
Right.
Physically tiring.
Yeah.
And it requires a constant commitment to learning and professional development.
Yeah, you really have to stay on top of things.
You do. This field is always changing.
But on the flip side, it also highlights those incredible rewards.
Oh, yes.
The job satisfaction,
Uh-huh.
the meaningful work,
The ability to help others.
and the positive job outlook.
Right. There's a lot to love about this career.
There is, and I think that's what's so important to remember, even when things get tough.
Yeah, you have to keep that bigger picture in mind.
You do.
Why are you doing this?
Yeah, what's your motivation?
And for most speech and language therapists, it's that desire to make a difference.
Absolutely. And that comes through in the guide.
It does.
You can really sense that passion.
And now here's something I found particularly fascinating.
Okay.
The section on specializations.
Ooh, tell me more.
Did you know that you can specialize in areas like pediatrics,
Okay, yeah.
geriatrics,
Uh-huh.
voice disorders, fluency disorders,
Wow.
even accent modification?
Accent modification?
Wow.
I had no idea that was even a thing.
It's a real thing, and it's pretty cool.
So you could help people,
Yeah,
like reduce their accent.
exactly. If they're having trouble being understood or if they want to sound more like a native speaker,
That's amazing.
it's pretty amazing.
I mean, I knew that there were specializations within speech and language therapy,
Yeah.
but I didn't realize that it was that diverse.
It's incredibly diverse.
Wow.
And I think that's one of the things that makes this career so appealing.
Yeah.
You can really find your niche
You can.
and focus on something that you're passionate about.
Absolutely. And speaking of possibilities,
Okay.
RoleCatcher also does a great job of outlining the typical career progression in this field.
Oh, yeah. From assistant to junior therapist to senior therapist.
Right. And it's helpful to see that there's room for growth,
Definitely.
that you're not just stuck in one role forever.
You can climb that ladder.
You can. And as you gain experience and expertise,
Yeah.
you can take on more responsibilities.
Yes.
Supervise other therapists,
Huh?
specialize in a particular area,
Hmm.
or even get involved in research or teaching.
There are so many options.
It's really a career path with a lot of potential.
A lot of potential for exploration and advancement.
Okay, so we've covered so much ground today,
We have.
and hopefully you're feeling a lot more confident about that upcoming interview.
Fingers.
But before we wrap up completely,
Yes.
I want to circle back to how RoleCatcher's AI can be your secret weapon in this whole process.
Oh, yes. Their AI is amazing.
It is, and remember that massive database of interview questions we talked about earlier?
Yeah, 120,000 questions.
That's a lot of questions.
It is, but it's not just about having access to a ton of questions.
Right.
It's about how you use them.
Exactly, and that's where the AI comes in.
So tell me more.
Well, RoleCatcher's AI can analyze job descriptions
Okay.
and suggest tailored answers to specific questions
Wow.
based on the keywords and skills emphasized in each job posting.
So it's like having a personal interview coach
Exactly.
who knows exactly what each employer is looking for.
That's mind-blowing.
It is.
So, for example, let's say you're applying for 2 different speech and language therapy positions,
Okay.
one at a children's hospital and one at a rehabilitation center for adults.
Got it.
The AI can help you craft nuanced answers that highlight the most relevant skills and experiences for each specific job. It's pretty amazing.
It takes all the guesswork out of it.
It does, and it gets even better.
Really?
RoleCatcher also offers AI-powered interview practice with video feedback.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
You can record yourself answering practice questions
Okay.
and get personalized insights on your delivery, your body language, your overall performance.
It's like having a virtual mirror.
Exactly.
It helps you see how you're coming across.
And identify areas for improvement.
That's so valuable.
It is. And speaking of personalized,
Uh-huh.
don't forget that RoleCatcher's AI can also help you tailor your CV or resume to each job application.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's all about maximizing your chances of getting shortlisted.
And then knocking their socks off in the interview.
Exactly. All right, so let's take a moment to recap some of the key takeaways from our deep dive today.
Okay, sounds good.
Preparation is key.
Yes.
And RoleCatcher is an invaluable tool for that.
Absolute.
Remember to showcase your passion
Uh-huh.
and highlight those rewarding aspects of the profession.
Let your enthusiasm shine through.
Exactly. And think back to all those incredible specialization areas we discussed.
Yeah, there were so many.
Which one sparked your curiosity the most?
Ooh, good question.
Maybe it was pediatrics or voice disorders or something completely
The
different.
possibilities are endless.
They are. Whatever it is, I encourage you to do some more research.
Yeah.
Explore those options.
Find your passion.
And remember, no matter what path you choose, the work you'll be doing is incredibly meaningful.
You'll be helping people find their voice, regain their confidence, and connect with the world in meaningful ways.
It's a truly rewarding and impactful profession.
It is, so go out there, embrace the challenge, and let your passion shine through.
We're confident that you'll make a fantastic speech and language therapist.
We're
We're cheering you on every step of the way.
Good luck with your interview.
And remember, you've got this.